What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Stoppage Time Stooges. The mood is definitely different, as you can see by the reactions of my friends here. We're going to kick things off with the man in my bottom left corner, which is Jacob, who just had to witness, let's say, interesting 2-2 draw against Arsenal. Jacob, I think the floor is all yours.
Okay. Let me just get myself composed here, so I don't, just
Big breath.
Yep. 5.
I'm all right. 2-2. They were up 2-0, and the game ended at 2-2, which means they didn't win the friggin' game. The last time Chelsea beat Arsenal at Stamford Bridge was 2018. 2018. And of course, I'm Peter Jury's reminding me of all the stats. Arsenal have never beaten Chelsea when they've been down and all this crap. And then, of course, right on the spot, why?
That's why he's one of the best.
Why isn't Leandro Trossard in the game? Goal again. And please let me vet again. And I know what people are going to say. Well, Jacob, Chelsea, Arsenal, that's a tough game. If wouldn't you take a point before the game started? But hold on now. Circumstance changes things. When you are up 2-0 at home, you cannot freaking draw. Okay? That's not acceptable. And Robert Sanchez, what planet are you on? And the board.
Thank you.
Why are we signing a goalkeeper from Brighton who isn't even good enough to play for freaking Brighton? Who wants their scraps? Again, I'm sorry, guys. You can't tell me that he's better than David De Gea. I refuse to believe that. I'm sorry. I as bad as David De Gea is at certain things, he's not a freaking idiot. I mean, again, why? Well, he had a pretty good year even last year, even though everyone that said he was terrible. Didn't he win the golden? What's the award for
Golden Glove?
Did he win that?
I don't remember.
I
think he did.
So. Yeah, he did.
Well, he won that last year, so he's what a scrub he is, huh? But anyway, it was 2-0. I'm all delirious. I'm like, maybe Chelsea they may finally beat Arsenal. Maybe my optimism that I never had but actually had was warranted. They're not going to be fazed by this gauntlet schedule that they have coming up. I'm finally going to be able to be happy on this podcast. I'm going to be, felt like I just won the title, but nope. Robert Sanchez said, nope, not today. Also my birthday's in 3 days. So, who knows? Maybe, Chelsea gave me a nice early birthday present. Nope. They had other friggin' plans. Again, the manager deserves a lot of blame here. And I'm tell you why. Why are you taking off the entire front three? Why? Tell me why. We have to take them all off. It's not like the bench is littered with stars. It's not like you have Arsenal's bench. I mean, come on. Because when the game was tied at 2-2, it was over. Who am I going to believe it? Noni freaking Madueke, who is just, oh my, what a waste. This guy does nothing.
He's the England under 21 star boy.
The manager.
He is good for England.
Is this an England game?
It's an
England. It's happening in England.
Yeah, in England. Yeah.
I do not give a you-know-what. As I was saying,
he
never plays. So why is the manager trusting him now? Tell me how that makes sense. I mean, Mudryk scores the goal, takes him off. Palmer scores a goal, takes him off. Sterling is really involved, takes him off. So when the game is 2-2, you don't have a shot to win the freaking game, which is what you should be aiming to do. I understand that Arsenal's lethal and they have all these great players, but you can't do that. Your bench isn't littered with stars. I'm sorry. I was even about to be ready to wax poetic about Marco Correa, who I have killed for months and months, but his best friggin' game.
I sent the text. I was like, "Is the world ending?"
Answers. No, I was shocked. Bukayo Saka was, not having his best game. He was not. Both the back, left back and right back, and Cucurella and Gusto, I thought played relatively well. But I'm sorry, that second goal, I understand it was a great pass by Saka and a great finish by Trossard. I'm sorry. The ball it's right by Sanchez's hands. It's right there. I mean, come on. I mean, how many times do I have to sit through this? This team, they never, ever win at home. They've won like 2 freaking games at home in the last year. I mean, even people that I have been killing, Gallagher, who's starting to turn a corner, and you say, you know what, maybe he's not terrible. Cucurella. I mean, all these people. I mean, Enzo Fernandez just did nothing today, but that's another story. Per usual. But again, it's just not acceptable. You cannot be up 2-0 at home and concede a draw. I don't care how it's a stepping stone. I don't care how young the friggin' team is. I don't care. Win the freaking game.
Finish.
Yes. I mean, do we have to take Mudryk out of the game? How many times can we take this guy out of the game after he has good performances? It's always a rush. Why? Can he play a full 90? Please? Maybe, don't you think his pace would have helped at the end of the game when they needed a goal in a short amount of time? I think it would have. And, maybe if they drew a penalty, maybe the guy who scored the other penalty early in the game would have been nice to have him on the field instead of off of the field. And I understand that it's a game of attrition and it's a long game. I'm sorry, a game like that you have to win. You don't take them off unless they are freaking injured. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna make excuse over that. You can't take them all out. And just again, I've said my piece. I am disgusted with this team, and I've had enough. And now they got this gauntlet schedule, and again, they have Brentford next week, who I think they can beat. I'd like them to beat, because of certain people that I know that have
Brentford's bigger club.
One particular individual.
Yeah, who's a friend of mine who supports Brentford for some odd reason. But again, they have to beat Brentford, because then they got I think they have City, they have Brighton, Newcastle, all these teams, and I think they can beat Brighton. I really do.
Oh.
No, I'm serious. Again, I mean, if they won this game today, I would say they're going to freaking run the table.
Just because you won the freaking Carabao Cup game.
I mean, they had all this momentum.
Evan Ferg is back, baby. Evan Ferg's back.
Why wasn't he starting?
Evan Ferg's back. He's just coming back. He's just coming back from injury. He's just coming back.
Answer the question.
I did answer it. He's coming back from injury. What's that? You guys hear that sound?
I think it's coming from you.
I heard it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Did?
I don't think it's coming from me.
All right, well, it's gone now. Anyway.
Okay, well, whatever. I'll just cut it. Evan Ferg's back. He's gonna, he's coming back from his injury. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. By the time we play Chelsea, he'll be in a starting lineup.
I don't think Jacob's a believer in that.
Believer.
Evan Ferg
in the same sentence.
Evan Ferg is the destroyer of worlds, Jacob. You're not ready. Mark Cucurella is not ready for Evan Ferg.
Well, he's not going to be marking him anyway, so it's not going to be different.
Thiago Silva is not ready.
Thiago Silva has faced some of the greatest in the game. I don't think he's scared of, little
He's
Evan
never
Ferguson.
faced 18-year-old Evan Ferguson.
I think he'll be fine.
Oh, yeah?
He's
Okay.
I'm sorry, he's the least of my worries, in all honesty.
Wow. Oh, big talk. Big talk.
Give me a break.
Big talk for a guy whose team...
Big talk. Big talk? Did you not just hear me last 7 minutes?
By the way, are you... Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's big talk. Yeah. Are you turning on Poch?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Are you turning on Poch? It sounded like it.
No, but I was very frustrated with the fact that I really felt like he really took out all the attacking options, and again, it just almost took them out of winning the game, and it's really frustrating. And again, the bench is not very deep, so that makes it even tougher. But all of the front three played really well together. Why? Do we have to take them out? Can we keep at least one of them in the game? Just one? You gotta take them all out?
I mean,
come
Sterling's probably the
on.
one that should have stayed on the field, I think, for a full 90 if
Yeah,
he had to
he
pick
should have.
one, just as the
Definitely.
most experienced
Just
player.
one of them, not all of them. I mean, come on.
But like, listen, you guys played well overall. It's just the mistake from Sanchez, which obviously was like a huge mistake. Terrible. You can't be doing that in that situation. Like 2-0 is a dangerous score. And to do that, I mean, that literally brought him back into the game, brought Arsenal back. Like that, you can't shoot yourself in the foot like that if you're expecting to, exceed expectations, whatever everyone else thinks. Like like this was definitely winnable. It just
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, here's the thing. It should have been a win for Chelsea. It should have been 3 points. But big picture, if you came in thinking you'd take a point from Arsenal, I think you take that any day.
But
I mean, I
think he
would,
also-
But it should have been a win. It should have been a win. I'm not denying that.
I mean, they got to win these
But
freaking
the
games.
big picture, getting a point from Arsenal is not the end of the world.
no big picture. They're playing
Sure.
better overall.
Yeah.
I think is the
It's
real.
translating to more points going down long term. But
Yeah.
when you're challenging for a European spot in May,
They're not challenging this
Look-
year.
I mean,
Jake, I think Jacob can admit that. They're not challenging this year. Maybe Conference League. They're
I
not
don't
challenging
know.
this
Yeah,
year.
that
What
is
worries
your-
me, and I've
Yeah,
and
that's
this
I
is-
know, that's what I'm saying, but I don't think they're even going to challenge for Conference League.
I think they'll
But
challenge. I don't know.
I think they'll challenge.
I do
What,
too.
what worries me, lastly, what worries me, and I've talked about this with Christian, is that Chelsea has this weird thing every year where when winter time comes, they fall apart. It happens every single season. It happened last year over the winter. It happened the year before that. It happened the year before that. It happens every time, with the exception of like the times where they've won the league in the last decade. But otherwise, they've just fallen apart in the months from December to like January, February. And I'm very worried about that, especially with the gauntlet that they have now. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, yes, I should be a little bit more positive because they got a point, but I'm just tired of not beating Arsenal. I want to beat my damn rivals. Okay, I'm sick and tired of not beating my rivals with all my sports teams.
Hey,
That's
so
valid.
would you consider this the most important stretch of the season coming up?
It is because of the teams that they have to play all
Right.
at once. If they can take, I can't remember how many games off the top of my head, but if they can get like 2 wins, and just my whole thing is don't get embarrassed. Just don't get embarrassed. Just don't get embarrassed. That's the big thing. If you're gonna lose, don't get embarrassed from the standpoint where you get killed like 5-0. None of that. No, none of that. No more and also no more 2-0 up and draw. No. That
the
loss.
only team that'll do that is probably City. But even then, considering how much better they're playing defensively and as a team, I think that I don't know. They'll keep it competitive, I think. But that's for down the line, really.
Yeah.
Before we transition, I'll go through the 4 games for Chelsea that get them through the end of November. Jacob, you give me points. You have Chelsea you have Chelsea versus Brentford there. Chelsea's at home. Then you play Tottenham on the road. Then you play City at home, and then you finish off November playing Newcastle away. How many points to those 4 matches would you say?
So it's what is it? It's Brentford at home.
Brentford home, Tottenham away, City at home, Newcastle away. What do you think they'll get, and what do you find acceptable, I guess, is
One, they have to beat Brentford. I will not accept a draw. A
Especially
draw
at
is
home.
that too, and a draw against Brentford. And I know that they're not terrible; they're a decent side, but you have to win the damn game. Sorry, because more importantly of what you have coming up. And I'm worried because I don't think the fact that all those games are away really concerns me.
So
Even though
City's at home.
City's at home, but
Yeah, let's
it's
City.
City.
No, yeah, but like,
I think they can maybe get 5-6 points.
Yeah.
Probably 5. I mean, I think Newcastle away is going to be a brutal match. I
Oh,
just do.
definitely.
judging off the way they played today too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I Newcastle, their demise to me was greatly exaggerated. I stand by that.
I think this is a good time to transition to another match that went on during the 10 o'clock slot for us in America. Brighton versus Manchester City. Brighton were poor at points in the first half, but really picked it up in the second half. Almost got an equalizer. They scored late, but ended up losing 2-1. Andrew, your thoughts?
I was on record 2 weeks ago conceding this law, and not on the podcast, but openly to some other friends, conceding this law like as a law. So I was just like, yeah, like, you know, Man City, no way Brighton beats Man City. I was like, no way. I mean, maybe a draw. Like, I was like, okay, maybe, but I was like, no way. So the fact that they kept it 2-1, you know, it's about what I expected. I'm not like too happy, but I'm like, you know, I'm not disappointed either. Like, it's about what I expected. Brighton's back line is awful. I expect, to be honest, I'm shocked Man City only scored 2 goals. I think that's a win in itself for Brighton, by only allowing 2 goals. And the fact that, I'll say this too, positive for Brighton, Ansu Fati scoring is a nice little positive. You know, Ricardo and I were talking about this before the show started. Like, the fact that, like, I have to root for a Barca player now is kind of sad, but I don't think he'll ever be going back. So I'm fully on board the Ansu Fati train at this point, even though I was very much against it when it happened. But overall, I'm just, you know, más o menos. I'm just like, you know, whatever. It happened. I'm not disappointed. I'm not pleased. I'm just in the middle. They should have equalized it at the end. If I had to be disappointed about one thing, it's that. And I mean, let's talk about fucking, as Ricardo said, Mitoma undressing Kyle Walker.
I don't mean that sexually. I mean,
no,
have you guys not heard that? Have you guys not heard that he undressed the defender? No, maybe. Okay.
No, I have.
Okay, fine.
I just wanted to point that out, that Ricardo is just, you know, praising Mitoma.
Fresh off an extension, by the way.
Yes. Here we go. Very happy. I was tearing up. Happy tears.
What's the release clause?
$2 billion.
No, what?
No, actually, I don't know the release clause. I don't think is there a release clause? I thought Fab didn't even put in the release clause.
Every man has a price.
I didn't see anything about it either, but
I don't think. Wait. New contract. No, they don't have one, but they value them at 70 million supposedly.
Yeah. Hey, I would too. I think. I mean, hell, if they got 110 for Caicedo, I mean, what's Mitoma? Mitoma might be 200 at this point. but please, Todd Bowley, you can take Mitoma. It's okay.
No, you want him. You don't want him.
No, I love him, but if Todd Bowley's going to give 200, I mean,
we have Mudryk now. We have Mr. 60-minute man.
Yeah, no, but honestly, I hope Mitoma doesn't leave. I love that guy so much, and he plays for the most underrated national team. The Japanese national team is so underrated, brutally underrated, and so I'm happy he's getting his due in the Premier League. So yeah, I'm not shocked, but you know, más o menos.
I mean, he could have scored twice, but
he could have, but like, I'm not that mad. It's Man City.
Yeah,
it's Man City.
I know.
Like,
it's still, it's like
I came in with expectations. Like, very low expectations. Yes, they should have. I would have been overly ecstatic, but whatever. On the next week.
And I think one thing to mention too, just I also got a chance to watch this. Manchester City's really missing Kevin De Bruyne. Just that creativity that he provides to Haaland, to guys like Phil Foden, who's looked much better. Their midfield just looks a little shaky. Overall, I think they look a little more vulnerable than they have in years past. I mean, they're making some stupid mistakes in the back. Akanji gets sent off. Roger got sent off a couple weeks ago.
What do you think of what's his name, Doku?
I think Doku's good. I think he's still getting adjusted to the physicality of the league, but
Yes.
this is a guy that's one of the more intriguing Belgian prospects, I think, of throughout Europe. He was really good at Rennes, like one of the more young, talented players that was coming out of Liga. But I think they're really missing De Bruyne, and I think they're really missing a fully fit Jack Grealish.
No. Well, yes. But, they're also, now that De Bruyne is out, they're really missing İlkay Gundogan.
Yes.
Really missing Gundogan.
They
I
are.
mean, yes, Kovacic is solid. He's not the Gundogan replacement. They're not even close. Not even close.
And I can
very different
trust you.
styles.
I know a lot about Kovacic, having watched him play.
Yes.
He's a fine player. He could not shine İlkay Gundogan's shoes. I'm sorry, he couldn't.
So I mean,
Not even. They shouldn't even be in the same sentence for crying out loud to me. I think the world of İlkay Gundogan, but still, I mean, Kovacic is fine. He's a good signing for what they got him for. He's great depth, in my opinion. The thing that I want to know is Calvin Phillips. All these injuries, he still can't get on the field. He couldn't even play when Rodri wasn't playing.
Southgate still believes in him.
Rodri's backup.
If Phillips is there in January, I'll be surprised.
He'll be gone.
He'll get minutes for Euros and the next World Cup. I mean, what is he doing on the bench at this point for his own sake?
Nothing. Like it doesn't help him. So
yeah, it's. I think that's a good segue into a talk about a team that probably wasn't predicted to be in a title race, but right now going into this window is top of the league, or they were top of the league going into this window of games. Tottenham title chance. How are we feeling about Tottenham long term?
You know who Tottenham really needs right now?
I don't know where you're going with this.
I know.
Jacob?
I think you would say Harry Kane.
Correctamundo! Imagine this Tottenham side of Harry Kane. They'd be winning the title.
Oh
That's the funniest part. They would win the title if they had a Harry Kane. Right
Listen,
now.
I hate Tottenham as a Chelsea rival almost as much as I hate Arsenal. But I hate to say, I think it'd be hilarious if they won the league without Harry Kane and Dortmund Bayern finished second in the Bundesliga. Now that'd be hilarious. I'm sorry.
I hate just paralleling different sports reminds me of Bryce Harper leaving the Nationals in baseball. Go to the Phillies.
You're hurting
immediately
Ricardo.
the next year.
Yeah, that's
the
valid.
Nationals win the World Series.
Why is he hurting Ricardo?
It's not like he's
plays
not
for Ricardo's
wrong.
team.
Well, the Phillies are.
No, he's not wrong.
Should be on me and Andrew's team, but that's another story for another day.
Different podcast.
Yes.
But imagine Harry Kane on this Tottenham team, a team that's much more creative. I think
I think he break Holland's record.
Now I do think Son is playing at another level of Kane gone. That's a difference. That's something to talk about too. If Harry Kane is still there, with Son be playing at this level, but honestly, Tottenham. I hate to say this because I'm not. I love seeing Tottenham like downfall every year.
As do I.
But they have a solid chance. There's not a lot. The top teams look shaky right now this year.
Yes.
There's good. I think there's. At least on the top end of clubs, there's a good amount of parity. Like I don't think there's one clear. Man City still, I think class, but as you astutely alluded to, De Bruyne is out, and they're not playing the same way that they have been. So I think the Premier League is wide open for the top clubs. So I think that automatically gives Tottenham a chance.
For me, until I see City not win the league, I'm gonna. I think they're. I just have the feeling they're gonna win the league every year. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not gonna pick against them until I see them go down. I just can't, because to me they're that good and they're worthy of that kind of praise and recognition. The thing that I'm thinking about with Tottenham, which I think will be interesting, is if they have a really good shot at the title in January, and they never do this, will they spend in January? That's what I want to know, because I think the Daniel Levy, who does not like to, is active, but the Tottenham have been known to not spend a lot of money in the transfer market. It's been their MO for a very long time. Will he see or think, man, I have a team that's really on the brink of winning a title here for the first time ever or whatever, and maybe this is the time where I go big.
You know who'd be perfect for Tottenham? Not Harry Kane. Not
Okay,
Harry
good.
Kane.
I was about to say, please tell me someone else.
No. Victor Osimhen.
Oh no,
That's
no,
where I was
no,
going.
no,
It's a name.
no,
I know. I'd hate it too. But man,
oh, that make me sick.
Victor Osimhen with his pace, making runs with James Madison finding him up the middle, like that'd be deadly, unstoppable.
I know.
I actually think that'd be a pacier striker would be a better fit than, let's say, a Harry Kane when you have a James Madison. Like, I think that's a better fit
for me.
And so
Son right now, it's similar, not to the same extent. It's almost like, when Ronaldo was at Real Madrid and he had Benzema with them all those years, I always feel like Benzema had to defer to let Ronaldo have his shine, score all the goals and do these things. But then when Ronaldo left, Benzema was like, it's my time to shine. It's my time to be the man. And he stepped up in a massive way. For me, I feel like it's like that at Tottenham, not to anywhere close to the same extent, obviously, but in a different kind of way. And I've thought Son's been a good player for a very long time. They got him from, I forgot the German team they signed him. Leverkusen.
Oh, was it? I thought it was. Oh no,
and the way he his rise has been like a rocket, and he's really taken off. And I think it's great that he's got the armband now. As far as being the captain, I think he's very worthy of that. You have to admire the fact that he wants to be there and he loves playing for Tottenham. And I think that he's stepped his game up along with stepping up his abilities as a leader.
Yeah, I think it's very clear he's become a much better leader since Harry Kane's departure. And Tottenham doesn't look dysfunctional right now. That's the funniest part. They don't look dysfunctional. So, whatever the case may be, I'm not happy for their fans.
Me neither.
But they're playing very good football right now.
I think one thing we do need to allude to is giving their recruitment team a lot of credit. They've done fantastic in the market. Udogi's been maybe the best young left back in Europe. Certainly one of them. I think he's been outstanding. Van der Ven's been a fantastic center back. Mm-hmm. And again, I think James Madison, I'll continue to say this, the most underrated signing of the summer.
I don't think it's underrated anymore.
No.
I think that's fair. I think
going into the season, he definitely was under the radar.
Then he was, but to me,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I think then very underrated. Now, clearly, the most important player in this team. But again, going off what we've talked about, we're one injury for James Madison away from them losing a ton of creativity, and their backup to play the 10 is Giovanni Lo Celso, who's not.
He's still there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is, and I just didn't even know he was at the club until I saw him feature earlier in the season. But I think Tottenham's in it, though. I think Andrew's right. There's vulnerability to Manchester City, as we saw today. Arsenal for 65 minutes. Liverpool doesn't look strong defensively, certainly in moments where they're being countered. So I think right now, as long as Tottenham can remain healthy, and like Jacob said, maybe a January of moves, which they could really use an upgrade over Richarlison. That's one name I think they really need to. He's good as a sub, a guy who can make an impact off the bench for 20, 25 minutes.
It wasn't worth the money they paid.
I don't think he's playing the right position. That's also, I think he's better on the wing. I feel like a lot of his best time at Watford and even at certain periods at Everton, he was always better on like the right side or the left side or whatever. He never seemed like an out and out center forward number 9 to me.
Yeah.
And I know Kulusevski's been pretty good, so it's hard to put him there. But I don't think it hurt if you're Postecoglou to put Richarlison, I think, we're at a position where he's been more effective.
You know, I
Kulusevski's amazing. Sorry, I just had to say that.
No,
I love
very,
watching.
very underrated.
talk about underrated players. Kulusevski is very underrated in the Prem right now.
Especially coming off a poor 2022, 23. Last year he was
it wasn't
very
great.
silent after being really good the year before, and now he's back to being one of the better right wingers in the Prem, which is exactly what Spurs wanted.
Yep.
Can I just add one thing?
Yeah.
I mean, their manager also deserves a lot of credit because I mean, I feel like
A
you
ton.
look at them. I mean, yeah, but like, look if you think about the teams in recent years under different managers, I feel like they were always more of a, I don't know, not as I guess more defensive minded. They were more like, you know, they weren't that big of a threat attacking wise. Even with Harry Kane, I feel like it was just more being compact and but I feel like under how do you say his name? Postecoglou.
Ange Postecoglou.
Ange, yes.
The
I
soccer
feel like they're a bit
wonder.
more
Big
open.
Ange.
I feel like they're a bit more free flowing. It's just like they're actually kind of fun to watch now. But it's I think they're definitely added more, at least attacking wise. They're definitely more of a threat on that front. So yeah, they with the solid back line and midfield and yeah, I think they definitely could pose a threat. I don't know. It's going to be tough against the bigger teams, but they're playing well.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see towards January, see if they can get to the turn of the year in this same spot, which is certainly possible, but we'll have to wait and see. I think this is a good time to switch over to a very interesting topic. Ricardo, Andrew, and myself were lucky enough to go to Germany versus the United States in Hartford, Connecticut for their friendly over the international break. Guys, you want to discuss this, how the experience was?
Please.
They're getting out of the stadium.
Oh, he's got it.
Mine's upstairs.
Mine is
I had
also
to have it in here.
Oh,
Now I'm wearing it the rest of the time.
I'm so happy we got the scarf. The scarves were all sold out pre-match outside. They had like a almost a vendor truck selling USMNT merch, and that we got a tip that they were more inside, so we lined up at the gate, and luckily we were one of the first people at the gate, like even 20 minutes before the gates opened, and we just ran. We're right over. We came in right near our merch stand, and we were like, "Okay, take our donation."
Scarf.
We needed a scarf. But, no, honestly, what an unreal experience. I know, like, it's a disappointing result. Not what we wanted, but the atmosphere was incredible. It was a great atmosphere, except, you know,
Some of the guys behind us
some of
were
the guys behind us,
select individuals.
but
a bit obnoxious at times.
But we got to talk about this. One of the worst chants.
Oh, please, yes.
I think I've ever heard in my life. I don't think Jacob's heard this yet. This is going to be an incredible reaction.
Oh, I'm gonna like mute this. I don't know to hear it yet.
He kept chanting whenever Germany took possession in our corner. We had the we're on the TV hard cam side, so we were like bottom left corner of the pitch. Whenever Germany would take possession there, the guy behind us screamed, "Suck, suck, suck, suck, suck! You suck!"
The worst chant ever.
And he screamed it every 10 seconds.
To the point where,
possession.
Oh,
To
man.
the point where-
If I was there, he wouldn't
He was right.
wouldn't have done that the whole game.
Right behind Ricardo.
Literally, it got to there was a fun German family in front of us.
Oh my!
The father
So
was
bad.
so annoyed. He turned around. He's like, "Have you had your fun?" He was like, "Have you had your fun?" In a thick German accent.
It was
Oh,
like
that-
you
that
were
I
doing
wish I
like every
heard.
10 minutes, not every minute or whatever.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish I recorded it once.
Yeah, but
Just so we
and
could
then-
have that.
but then it got worse because they stopped doing it every 10 seconds, but then the whole row started doing it.
It was a
Oh.
group of him
Oh
and a group of
no!
friends. Like, oh man, it got bad. And then they started talking a bunch of crap about the guy who it was like, you know, the German guy. Oh, man.
A little annoying, but whatever. It was fun. I mean, there are a lot of German fans, a lot of Germany fans.
Shockingly a lot.
But Hey, no, it was a great time.
It's like you're at a Rams game
Oh,
or a
yeah,
Chargers
sorry.
game.
Yeah, the Stan Kroenke experience.
It's like you're at SoFi.
No, but hey, grass pitch. I was reading up pre-match. I was shocked to see a grass pitch.
Yeah.
It was a turf stadium, so I guess they rolled in a grass pitch, and I didn't seem to cause any injuries. So hopefully more stadiums before the World Cup switch to grass fields.
Take notes, NFL.
Take notes.
Yeah.
It looked. I mean, it was completely clean from my perspective. But if we want to get a little more deeper into the match, Christian Pulisic's goal.
Oh my goodness.
That was
It's
some
right-
goal. I wasn't
right in
there, but
front
that
of
was
us.
some
I
goal.
couldn't believe it.
One of the it was one of the best live sports experiences I think I've ever been a part of.
Absolutely.
Christian Pulisic's goal, and the fact that it was on Marc-Andre ter Stegen
Yes.
made it so much better. Barca fraud. Oh, I was so happy. I mean, I wasn't happy that Pulisic beat Rudiger to get
Whatever.
first
That's
position.
but you can set that aside.
but we'll leave that aside. We'll leave that aside. Yeah, I guess the other. Sorry, backtrack a little. We're going all over the place. Just fanboying that all these German, like the German warm-ups were right in front of us, and we were just fanboying. Specifically me, I was fanboying the whole
Over who?
time.
Over who?
Everyone.
Rudiger.
I was like, all these guys are.
no,
Particular.
I was like, all these guys
I love
made
Tony
it.
Rudiger.
I was like, all these guys made it to East Hartford, Connecticut, out of all places. Out of all places in the world, they came to East Hartford, Connecticut. And, you know, in front of us is Ilkay Gundogan practicing of Thomas Mueller. Like, who would have guessed? But, no, the biggest change in the game was Greg taking out Gio Reyna at halftime. That ruined the US's chances. I mean, I understood Gio was coming back from injury, even at club level. So I mean, I got it. But Luca De La Torre did not look good.
You know that's not the only reason why I took him out.
Jacob, we're not doing this.
Am I wrong?
We're not doing this.
Yeah.
I would hope that's the only reason.
Need to
Let's
be on
put
that red table talk with Jada
Jacob.
Pinkett Smith. That's the
Jacob.
That'd be
No,
a good day for those two.
But Germany, yeah, they scored 3 fairly quick goals in the second half. I'd say within 20 minutes. I don't have the game in front of
The
me.
first one was at the end of the first half. And then
it was
they
like 40 minutes.
Oh, right. Yes. How can I forget that one?
And
The
then-
Gundogan goal.
I think you're right. I think 2 were scored in maybe like a 3 or
Within like
4
the first
minutes.
15, 20 minutes of the second half. And then Nagelsmann, who by the way looked like an idiot in that flannel.
He thought it was Fashion Week.
I thought it was Mahoney's in Poughkeepsie. You know?
Yeah, he was ready for moments.
Yeah, he's going out to the bar.
It was bold. You gotta respect bold.
I mean, it's still. I mean, I still better than Berhalter.
Okay, yeah.
But,
Sorry, our manager dresses with the stupid merch. Could you get worse merch than that?
Just states.
States.
I mean, who designed that? This is what I know. Who the hell designed that and thought that was like a good shirt?
I want to get in touch with Nike's designers because
I mean, you got to be
I hate
kidding.
to get off topic, but have you seen the new US kits that Nike supposedly designed?
Nike's-
It's like the Chelsea kit. There's nothing on it.
Yep, nothing on it. Nothing on
Nike's
it.
Chelsea
Chelsea
like
finally
that.
found a sponsor, but anyway.
Nike's kits are too basic. Anyway,
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, but then we came 3-1, and then Nagelsmann brought in Kai Havertz, and they didn't score again. And
Not a coincidence.
but yeah, I mean, the second half was definitely quiet from us. We were more lively in the first half. Very depressing second half. But some positives we could take away. Second half, Brendan Aronson actually looked decent
Yep.
for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
He's been struggling at club level for Berlin, Happy to see him when our best players were taken out. He took a big step up, and he was making good runs. So happy to see that. I mean, our I mean, I don't want to say our back line was poor. Let's be honest. Like in the second half,
especially going in
like I mean, Serginho Dest cannot play defense for his. I mean, we've known this for years, but he can't play defense for his life. Now it did look like Greg was playing him more as a left wing back, at least in the first half.
Yep.
Which was an interesting sight. I don't know if I like that against Germany. I don't know if I want to expose our back line against Germany like that, especially when Leroy Sané is. I mean, to be fair, Serge did play good on-ball defense
in the first half.
Good pressing on Sané, but in the second half, it totally fell apart, and it seemed like every turn, like Sané could just make it in an instant, in a snap. Sané, Musiala. They were all at will going into the final third. So that was a problem. But overall, it was a fun time. Can't complain. I felt like I've talked too much. Go on, please.
Ricardo?
I'll just say, I mean, watching that Pulisic goal, that was
unreal. We were all hugging each other.
I was like, wow, did that really just happen? Like, that was so surreal. But I mean, I should probably also say this too. We got interviewed for like some what was the newspaper or whatever?
CT Insider.
Yeah, that's what it was. Some guy came up to us before the game and like is asking us a few questions. I thought that was like cool.
Very random. Came out of nowhere. We're just walking to the fan fest.
Yeah.
And this guy just comes up behind us. And I mean, very nice guy.
Yeah.
And Jacob.
What do you have to say, huh?
No, it seems a little suspicious, that's all.
What do you mean suspicious? It was actually
you said he came out of nowhere and just
well, I mean that is what happened.
Yeah, it caught us off guard, but no, it was cool. It was that part of it too. And then I eventually found the story which I sent to you guys, but I told you guys I'd find it.
Did you all get quoted?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I did.
Yeah, we did.
We're all
more like, yeah. I said, did you guys not read it?
No, I mean I didn't.
I read through it, but I kind of glanced, but I didn't see our names.
Well, what was the point of me sending it to you then if you weren't gonna read it?
Hey, I'm busy.
We all came up. And also, just to say this, I did this at work because I was sitting there doing nothing. So I'm like, let me just find this story. Wow. I was on high heat too. Mad Dog.
Oh, no wonder you weren't doing anything. You couldn't find the clips.
Sorry, yeah, I digress. No, that was overall just really cool experience. I mean, I hadn't ever I'm pretty sure you guys said this too, that hadn't been to an international game before, even if it was just a friendly, but
it definitely was not a friendly atmosphere.
I was gonna say no, it was not.
Yeah, with the guy behind you, it definitely wasn't a friendly atmosphere.
It couldn't have been. That guy could not have been more obnoxious. It was funny at first, but it was just relentless. And fair enough. And he even said if you wanted to sit or wanted it to be quiet or whatever, you should have stayed at home and watched it on your TV. I'm like, you know what? That's a valid point. Or that I agreed with him on. But
there are also two Chelsea fans, not the same guys behind us, but a couple of rows above us, who, when Kai Havertz was warming up to get on, started screaming at Kai Havertz that he sucked and is a disgrace to the sport. And
true. If I was there, I would have put up a fist in solidarity with them.
But
I think we even said that. Jacob would have joined in or something.
And he swapped kits with Pulisic after the match.
Oh, yeah.
But not Rudiger. Or what was his name? Pulisic didn't swap with Rudiger. No. Whatever. I don't really care. They're two guys that I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it again.
But we also saw our professor there, Leander, who was covering the game there. Actually.
Shout out.
Yeah. I
Very
hope
cool.
he watches this and sees this part. He probably won't, but
No.
no, but seeing him there was cool. I was like, I knew he was gonna be there. I just had a feeling. It was just I was telling Christian before we even went there. I was like, I bet you Leander's gonna be there. And then of course I texted him and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be there. So that was cool. And Andrew got me beer.
Yes, I bought Ricardo a beer because I don't think we mentioned this on the pod, but happy birthday, Ricardo.
That was like 2 weeks ago, but
2 weeks ago. I
but
know.
thank you.
I don't think we mentioned it. Jacobs is a few days away, as he mentioned earlier. But for Ricardo's
24th.
birthday, I bought him a Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
It was pretty good.
And Christian got a Mott's apple juice.
Yeah. Yes, for apple juice. I don't even know what else. I'm just talking more about the experience overall. I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things you guys mentioned, I believe as well. One thing we should mention too is that there was a much better performance against Ghana, which
yeah.
we did not attend that game down in Nashville, but what I will say is I think Gio Reyna is, if not the most important, he's right up there as one of the most integral pieces to this development of our national team. I think, especially in the game against Ghana, he was active, doing so many different things, creativity, goals. I mean, this is a guy that actually, when fit, is one of the most important and one of the more talented players in the squad. I mean, Pulisic's up there. Balogun's come in and been very impactful. But I think Gio Reyna is absolutely right up there. I think he's going to need a move from Dortmund at club level. I think Edin Terzic, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Just doesn't play him enough. And he made an impact over the weekend or on Friday at club level, but
not going to Chelsea.
Sure.
Just kidding.
If he wants to go to Chelsea, he'll probably sit the bench. But
yeah,
I just think he's a guy that needs to get more minutes at club level, and once he does, I think he'll really flourish. Obviously, the injuries are a valid concern, but I think Gio Reyna needs to be playing both at club and international level to really fulfill his full potential, regardless of what's gone on with Greg. Because I think that's
his parents need to keep their mouths shut.
That's true too, but
yes. But I think if just to quickly wrap that up, I think if he can put everything off the field, just if it can be quieted down, nobody's worried about that, and he can just play his football, I think we're going to see a guy who's now 20 start to flourish over the next 2 years, and hopefully he's going to be a nailed-on starter by 2026.
I don't think it's even a debate. He is our most important player. I mean, you see the difference when he gets out of the game compared to a Pulisic or like at least Balogun, Ricardo. There is a drop off to Ricardo Pepe, but but it's not the drop. The significance of having a 10. Now, what if Malik Tillman's healthy? That's a different story too, because I think that would help out. Like if Gio gets subbed off for Malik Tillman, someone of his quality, then okay, you could live with that. But we don't really have a backup 10 other than Malik Tillman. So once Gio comes out of the game, I mean, yeah, we could change formation and play with a defensive mid, but we play so much better with a number 10. So it's night and day how much better we play.
With BJ Ball.
With
that's right, Jacob.
That's right.
BJ Callahan is
Yep, he changed the game. Anthony, well, it started with Hudson.
Who's having a
rough stretch in Qatar right now. He just lost. What was it? 5-0. He just lost something like
really
that. Yeah, really bad in Qatar. R.I.P. Anthony Hudson. Loved his pressers. But yeah, BJ Ball still there. But no, I think Gio by far, he's our most creative player.
Yes,
easily. I think it's even a question. Now Pulisic could play to 10, but then you have a problem at a wing position
which is why we need Koleosho.
Which is exactly why we need Luka Koleosho, who somehow mind-numbingly Burnley's benching him. It doesn't make any sense.
They're gonna get relegated.
Yeah, whatever. But Yeah, no, Gio's our most important player. I don't think it's even a debate.
Yep. I think that's a perfect way to transition into some more international talk. There seems to be a striker problem, specifically with some teams, or the bigger teams, I would say, in Europe. Germany, as we watched, I think has got one. Netherlands in particular, and even some other ones. I think this is a good discussion to have because as we move towards the Euros and the 2026 World Cup, some of these big teams who have great defenses, great midfields, are going to fall short if they cannot fix their striker problem.
Yeah, I mean, we were just watching Germany, and we're like, Nicholas Füllkrug is the starting striker for Germany, and we're like, oh yeah, there really is no one else. It's kind of sad to see that there is a striker shortage. But then you think about it for a little bit. Think of the best strikers in the world. Name some.
Holland.
Yep.
Norway.
Is Mbappe a 9?
I would consider him.
Mbappe, I'd consider as a striker. But then that's the other problem. The teams that have very good strikers who are the best European teams, and they have infinite strikers in their international depth pool. So a lot of countries don't have striker depth. It's kind of crazy. Think like Brazil right now. I mean, Richarlison is their starting striker right now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think
don't have
the
anyone.
World Cup, it was him and Gabby Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah.
And still, I mean, during CONMEBOL qualifiers.
Firmino's old. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. No, Richarlison.
That's a good one.
So, I mean, Osimhen's not Nigeria.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lewandowski, Poland.
Lewandowski's Poland.
Yeah.
You see, like that's, it's a big problem right now.
I mean, Germany haven't had one since I feel like, literally.
Yeah.
And he was old as dirt.
But he's still producing the World
I'm not
Cup.
denying that. I'm just making a point.
No, I know. I'm just like, I find this so strange. Like, why is this an issue? Because
Netherlands have had striker problems for a while. This isn't new. I mean,
imagine what they could do with Robin van Persie right now.
oh my God.
Prime.
No, I'm saying that'd be something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good point.
They're
missing one because right now it's if
Belgium's about to have a striker problem. Oh, they're gonna have a lot of
I
problems.
mean, I mean, Lukaku's what now? 32.
he's that. I thought he was.
I think their problem's going to be at the back.
Over.
That was going to be those.
That's-
guys.
The whole team's gonna
I
be.
think more of their issues are defensively.
Yeah.
He's 30. Lukaku's 30.
Really?
30.
I was gonna say I don't think he's 30.
That's younger than I thought.
He just looks older than he actually is.
Yes, that's
He's also
very
been around for a while. He got into
ages.
he got into first team football pretty early.
Yes. Yeah. But like, it's just. I feel like the sport itself, like a lot of like, there's so like youth academies like across Europe at least, and just.
It's almost like the striker is being devalued, and the defensive midfielder is like the new.
Why is that? Like,
I don't know.
Well,
It doesn't make any sense to me.
There's much more emphasis on wing players.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Well,
That's
well,
certain.
yeah.
Coming from the wing, yeah.
I mean, look at the wingers Germany has. Look at the
Yeah.
wingers other countries. I mean, Brazil. Look at all these countries that don't have amazing striker play. Have pretty good to decent wing play.
France. So yeah.
France.
France has thrived for years with
Giroud.
France is one of the sides that will, they don't have a striker. They don't really have a striker problem.
It doesn't matter.
Well, they had a controversy. That's a different.
They had a
story.
controversy, but it's not exactly. They have plenty of depth at striker. That's not an issue for them.
Yeah.
So
they're one of the few.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's the thing. The international sides that don't have striker problems have a ton of striker depth. That's the thing.
Like who?
I think Portugal has one. When you look at Diego Jota and I mean Ronaldo's scoring no matter
Scalo
what.
Ramos.
Scalo Ramos, João Felix has come on. I mean, they're loaded too.
Yeah. Hate to say it, I think England is okay. Now they don't have the
Yeah.
best, but they have okay
They have
depth.
depth.
They have
Yeah.
depth. Like, I'm not the
They have
biggest
plenty
Eddie.
of depth. Just it's not doesn't mean it's the best.
I'm
depth.
not.
It's
I've
pretty
already said I'm.
significant drop off, but
Yeah,
it's still depth.
like you already know. I can't stand Eddie and Ketia, but
I don't know why.
At least they have depth. That's better than a lot of these countries.
He's pretty serviceable, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I mean Italy right now is not like
I mean, they were starting Scamacca against.
Scamacca is starting. Yeah,
I mean, that's a guy who's not had any success at club level for the last year and a half.
Like they have like Immobile. They have
Yeah.
who
Is it
else?
too late to bring back Mario Balotelli? Are we gonna
I don't know how
let's
he's
have
still
some
playing.
fun?
he's playing in the Super League.
Yeah, I don't know how he's playing still. I respect that, but
He's only is he like 32?
he's like 36. Dude.
I looked this up the other day actually.
He's
We're talking
not
about this at
32.
work
My guy,
Yes.
Mario Balotelli.
He's 33. Are you kidding?
or something.
That means he has 7 good years left.
33. Just turned 33 in August.
Yeah, he'll just pull his lat down and I don't know, play until he's 40.
That'd be awesome.
But
Yeah, we're a bunch of nobodies. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, thinking about like calling my both sides. I mean, Argentina, you have
worse.
Julian Alvarez.
And
Who I think I may have to owe an apology for.
you've already given it. You want to give another one?
No, you know what I think? I think Julian Alvarez is watching Stoppage Time Stooges. Because ever since I ripped him to shreds about being a Ballon d'Or nominee, I think he's scored a goal in like almost every friggin' game he's played.
Yeah. He's been pretty damn good.
Shout out to Julian Alvarez for watching this podcast.
Exactly.
No, he's very in all seriousness, he's been very impressive. I mean, he just every game you just see him scoring another goal, and you're like, wait, what? And you go, I guess it's starting to make more sense.
Spain has a bunch of mid strikers.
Oh,
Morata's performed well for Spain.
By scoring a bunch of headers. Yeah, that's all he does.
That
At
is
least he's
all
scoring.
he can do.
Yeah, at least he's scoring. I guess.
Imagine him taking a penalty.
He's missing that. He wouldn't even take it. What am I saying?
I mean, their backup number 9 is Hosselu, and I think Iago Aspas might still be in the mix. I don't know if he's
This man's also old. Aspas is old. Hostelu's old. Like
but they still find a way to get into all these international tournaments and still finish.
Well, Spain
They have talent all around.
They
have talent in every other area.
Yeah.
Lots of young talent now too.
Yes.
Young
Barca.
yeah. I mean, just look. I mean, Gavi is going nuts for Spain.
Pedri,
yeah.
Yeah. That's tough.
No.
Hate to see it.
Ferran Torres.
Sucks.
Does he?
I think he's overrated.
I don't think he's overrated considering I feel like he doesn't get any love.
Because he didn't deserve it.
He's like the forgotten stepchild.
Xavi hates him.
Xavi hates a lot of things.
Enough.
I mean, that's why Fati's gone, right? For now, at least.
Yeah. He's not part of it.
It's same with Dest, no.
Not part of our future.
But totally off topic. Scott McTominay has scored another goal.
Are you kidding me? What's the score?
It's 1-1 right now, but Scott McTominay scored.
They better win. And in all seriousness, obviously today, a Man United legend, Sir Bobby Charlton, passed away.
Yes.
Very sad news. Probably, I think, obviously he played many, many years ago, but he won a World Cup for England. He won a Ballon d'Or. Kind of underrated as far as like legends of the game, in my personal opinion. Like he had the goal scoring record for a very, very long time. I think Rooney broke eventually, but he held that record for a very long time. You always saw him at the Man U games. He's revered at the club. Obviously, very sad. Died at the age of 86, and I'm sure United today they're playing with a heavy heart and also a little bit more juice, knowing that a win today, one, they're playing Sheffield, but two, a win to honor his memory would be something that I think is certainly on their minds.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad you mentioned that because that came through in between the 7:30 and 10 o'clock kickoffs, and I'm hopeful that they did some sort of a tribute
They must have. There's no way they couldn't have.
for that. But I think that's all the time we got today. A little of a shorter podcast, but we'll be back next week. If there's any topics you'd like us to discuss next week, please let us know in the comments below.
Before we do go,
yes.
Sorry, Christian. Before we do
Go
go, I think we should talk about this for maybe 2 minutes.
Neymar?
Yeah, I think we should talk about
Okay.
Neymar
Yeah.
just quickly. His international career is over. Hey, he's done.
He's not done. He's not.
I don't think either.
It's a sad way to go out for him, but you know,
I think the opposite.
not shocked.
I think that this injury is going to drive him. I think he's going to be more determined than ever in his entire career to prove
He's not going to be the same.
I don't care. I don't know.
I don't know. He's
He's still Neymar. Okay, I mean he's not. He's still one of the great players of this
It's
generation.
delusion.
But it's
not
ACL
delusion.
too.
It's an
It's
ACL,
like-
MCL. He's done. He's 32.
I don't care. What
He's
about
playing the Saudi league. He's done. He's
I
done.
don't care.
It's
No,
sad.
I don't think he's done. I think this is gonna spur a great comeback.
I
He'll
don't
get a
think he
send
gets
off.
back to Copa America, but I think he's going to be in the mix
No,
for
he
the
definitely won't.
I think I don't know. I'm not.
I
I'm
think he
not
gets back
writing.
to
I am
2027.
not gonna write the book off on Neymar. I'm just not. I don't think I
Fair
can.
enough to you, but I no.
I'm a
I think
believer.
I'm glad
writing's
we-
on the wall for him. I think.
I think he's cooked. Yeah, it's sad. It's a very sad way for him to go out. I mean, at least he won Olympic gold, I guess. The Confederate. He was a Confederations Cup winner, right, for Brazil.
Yeah.
Did they
So,
win the
I
Copa
mean,
America?
No, I don't think he won.
Messi won it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think he's ever won a Copa America. No.
Nope. Before that,
Won a Champions League, right?
Yep, won a Champions League.
I don't think his club career is over. I'm not gonna.
internationally. Like,
His international career is over. Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I'm with Jacob here. I think there's a shot he's going to have.
He
all
also
the-
means a lot to Brazil. I mean, he means a lot. He's
also
been
an
to me. He's been the
irreplaceable piece.
face of Brazil for a long time.
Oh,
He is-
absolutely. I'm not
he is
denying
the
that.
leading
But
goal scorer all time. Also, but
He means a
right
lot,
now
man.
is a transition. It's a transition right now.
I kind of agree. I feel like they're
It's a
getting
tricky
younger
period.
too. It's
They
like
are
Getting
getting
younger. I think more Brazilian fans are aligning with Vini. I think with Ancelotti coming in next year, if that does happen,
if that happens, yeah.
if it happens, I think that's gonna be a big spur for it too. So I hate to see him go out this way internationally. I think he'll get a proper send. I think he will play Copa America, but I don't think he'll ever be the same. Yeah, I
That's-
think they're saying he'd be back in like May. I read, but
There's no way.
really
He's back in May.
I read something about him trying to come back in May. But I mean, that
Was
could
he
be-
getting
but-
surgery from the person
but
before
I-
Aaron Rodgers? Like what is
Yeah,
going on?
I know. I read something about him coming back May, but
That's outrageous.
I don't think it's risky, and I think
Oh yeah, that's certainly
I-
a risk.
yeah, and I don't know, like he's not gonna be the same. He's just not gonna be the same. I don't think it's worth it. I think he went out fighting for the World Cup qualification, and so I think
He's going out on his terms. I'm sorry. He
yeah,
I-
but like it won't matter if
I'm not denying he's going out on his. He's going to get a proper send off for Brazil. I'm not saying he's not getting a send off.
it
But
won't
I'm
matter
just
if the
saying
next
he'll
manager
never
doesn't
be the
want him.
same, and I don't think
Legit.
he'll play. I don't think he's going to play in another big competition.
I don't know. There's for some reason I just think that this may lead him to play the most inspired soccer of his life. I just do. I think he's gonna come back with a vengeance. I really do. I don't know. I think Neymar for the last year his name's been kicked around, his reputation's been kicked around, and I don't know. To me you say
think
what
he
you want.
cares?
Yeah, I honestly do think he cares. People would say that this is like he was distraught when he got hurt. I mean, he was like just.
Oh no, I watched it. He absolutely was, but
And
like,
I think he does care. I think he cares about his legacy. I do.
so then why would he go to Saudi?
Why would
He
Benzema go
cares
to
about his-
Saudi?
he cares about his
I-
legacy
I'm not.
international
I'm not.
level.
I'm like, these are two
Benzema,
different players here.
Benzema already accomplished. That's what.
Everything.
Yeah,
Basically.
like I don't think that's. I don't think it's a.
I
fair
think because that was
comparison.
his. I think that was the fastest way out. That's why I think he went to Saudi.
I think PSG was just a
Sure.
mess, and he felt that was the time to go.
Exactly. I agree.
And
But that was-
realistically, if we look at Neymar's club career recently, where was he going to go if it wasn't? If he,
Yeah, like,
And he's still been a good club player. I mean, yes,
yeah,
League
but no,
O's
no,
and-
but that's not the
he's been-
issue. The issue is the amount of money that the club would have had to pay.
Well,
Right.
that is
Right.
part of the problem.
But I just don't see like a. I didn't see a Prem club coming in. It would have been Barca, but Barca doesn't have the money to pull it off.
Right.
So
Somehow, yeah. but
he
that's-
always was going to end up either leaving PSG or. I mean, he either he was staying or leaving, and if he was leaving, he was going to go somewhere that was going to be able to afford him, which happens to be that league. So I don't know. It's tough to call. I think I'm with Jacob here. I think Neymar somehow makes a comeback for Copa America or the World Cup. He's going to rush himself back or he's going to be back for 26. That's my thought too.
How old? He'll be like 35 for the World Cup.
You 35. I mean, Ronaldo's playing
Or
at this,
wait,
I mean, very
He's
different players.
32 in February. Oh no, he'll be 34. He'll be 34 for the World Cup.
He's playing in the World Cup in 2026.
I think he plays.
There's no way he doesn't. And I think I don't know. I just think that maybe it's if it's his last tour, I think he's going to leave it all out there. I really do. Crap! I may pick Brazil to win the World Cup right now. I mean,
do it right now. Futures bet.
21st of 2023. Jacob's calling a shot.
Futures bet. Hey, you know what? Take your own words because I didn't listen to myself when I
Maybe
said
this is the
Argentina was going to
sign.
win it.
No, US is winning.
Oh, okay, all right.
winning what?
Around the 16
place.
match, maybe.
Third place.
But
Third place match.
That'd be a shocker.
that'd be the greatest story in American soccer history.
Oh my
Winning the
God.
third place match. But anyways,
Yeah, I think that's we do need to go now though. But I'm glad we got that in because it's definitely an important conversation because as Jacob mentioned, one of the best players of this generation. But as I mentioned before, please subscribe. Let us know if there's any topics you'd like us to discuss in the future and have a great rest of your weekend.